Film Sports Talk worldwide with some news, and that's about it. All right, first of all, rest in peace. All right, Botham John. You know what I mean? Rest in peace. There's another young brother we know about. It's been going on. He's been shot about a week ago, fatally in his apartment by a young police officer, and the police officer happened to be a young white female. Now, her name is Amber Geyer, right? And so, she's been taken in on a manslaughter charge, right? Nothing more. And the details are coming in about what happened. Well, her side of the story was she came home after a late shift or after a shift of working 14 to 16 hours, depending on the report you get. And she comes home and she goes to the wrong house. And there seems to be some type of apartment complex. So she goes to the wrong floor and goes to the wrong house. Looks like hers, and the door is leaning, and she goes in, puts the key in and leans, and she looks in, sees a silhouette, and before she turns on the light, she lets go of two fatal shots. Bam, bam. Kills the person, turns the light on, then finds out it's this brother, young brother, man, Botham Jean, and that's it, and she calls police. That's her story. So things are going to be coming out, days going in. There was a lot of things wrong with this story. You can go from any angle. Again, sometimes police have, everybody shouldn't have a weapon, right? This lady comes home. Now, I don't know how you can come home, first of all, and go into the wrong home, right? And some witnesses are saying she has a bright red carpet in the front of her place and a number on the house. So if 14 hours of work does that to you, there's a problem to address if you're police in the police force. If that can make you go home, you got a weapon now. You got to remember, go home and go to the wrong place, right? So that's what it sounds like when you first get reports. But the more that's coming in, it seems as though they've missed something, right? And I'll get to it in a minute. But first of all, they go into the brother's crib who got shot, right? And they look around his crib. So, they found some marijuana, right? Found a marijuana grinder, so this is what they find in the young brother's house. Now they find also a police backpack with police stuff in it, and something else from police, which just doesn't hit me too. He had something else, and he had 2 bags of some kind of medical care, right? These are what, the things that they found in the house from the brother, and a laptop, which of course you're gonna find in young brother's house. So they've been to his house. Now, the person who murdered them, that lives downstairs, we have no reports of what's in her house. We have no reports about what kind of person she is yet up until now, right? What's been found in her house? Because see, if you can just easily say, oh, I found 25 condoms in her house, which would lead you to believe she's a certain kind of person, or things like that. That's why what's in the old boy's house is irrelevant for the media, right? But in her house, the murder. Not really. So you want to check her house too. Those are something that hasn't been done so far, right? So it's just a lot of things in this, what's going on in this case. It seems to be a lot of lying going on. And, you want to get to the bottom of it eventually. But at the end of the day, another young brother is being shot by someone. And, it's very interesting that until now you haven't even heard that this girl or this police officer has reported this guy at least once. I think even more, but at least once because of his music he's played upstairs from her. He lives directly on top of her. So there's already been issues between those. They haven't told that to the media. You have to find that out, another source. Forgot where I got that, some kind of site, right? So if there was already a history between those two, and you have witnesses saying that they heard the lady banging on the door, saying, let me in, let me in. And these witnesses, guys, are saying they're 100% sure of what they heard. So what you have here is something that's going to be very interesting going forward. These kind of shootings, it shouldn't be fatal. It's happening in his house. Brother get killed in his house, right? People not knowing what house they're in. I don't know how it's going to go going forward. But it would bring me to those brothers kneeling for things similar to this. Young brothers getting killed by people with police officers with guns, right? Your house or not, you could still shoot in the lower extremities. and then find out. People don't have to get shot fatally. That's what we're talking about. That's why those brothers are kneeling, right? That's why. And that's why we're going to be kneeling with them symbolically. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't up yet because the game on, I'll be kneeling in my dreams, right? Symbolically. Don't matter what part of the world you on, kneel with the brothers because this is what they're talking about. Now, you know, when you're looking at this particular case, at the end of the day, a brother gets shot from a police officer, right? That's what they're kneeling for. But in this case, when the more information is coming in, you don't know what's going on between these two people. You don't know if this could be some kind of you know, like in my domestic violence book, Slapped. I've told you guys about it. A couple of people that got it. Thank y'all. But, you know, the domestic violence, you know, in a way. People got a gun. You don't want a gun in the house. You don't never know if these guys had some kind of relationship going on. You don't know. If she lived downstairs from him, he's been playing the music, she might have been upset about it or might have been upset about someone else. The chapter in my book is called Flip Side, where I'm talking about things exactly like this. So we don't know if it's that. But at the end of the day, a police officer carrying a gun has to have a certain amount of decorum. And the screening process for letting these people have guns has to be intensified. Now, we need to hear more about what kind of person she is. How her psychological state was. What do the police even know? Are they giving out information about her? Because all the information you're hearing about is what's in the young man's house. Why are we talking about him and what he's got in his house? He got shot. We need to hear more about her, right? And I'm telling you, it's another shot in the arm for the policeman, and there's no pun intended here. But they have to really get it together. You have a weapon on you. You know, if you don't know, look at comic book movies. What Spider-Man, when he became Spider-Man, what does Uncle tell him? You know, something about, wasn't it? With power, when you get power, comes responsibility. Those are profound statements. And you got a gun on your right there on your hip. There's responsibility. And for the police that are letting these people come in, make sure they know how to shoot. Right? They have to go through a vigorous training where they don't get nervous by the color of somebody's skin. The dudes with guns cannot be nervous about things like that. Or else this is going to continue to happen. Right? And women either. So let's see what this is going forward. And back to the top. Rest in peace, Botham John. Right? And, you know, everybody, his family, because people, they're not thinking about you. Right? When the guys are going to think about you on this weekend, and when they're kneeling and they're thinking about you, and your people and what you're going through, there will be half of America mad because they're doing it. That's the problem here. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, and rest in peace, my homie. And I'm up out of here.